Hello, Friendos and Randos. We're gonna be talking about O8. So let's get right into it. I have 8 pack battle, so I need to like review every card anyway. To like to train. So I'll be working on doing just that. We'll go through all of the different cards. I'll talk a bit about like what they do, what I think, whether I think they're good or not, whether they'll be meta or not, and then we'll see what's gonna happen. Rest of the video, I guess. Okay. So I guess starting right off the bat, we've covered the different leaders in a different video already. And that's up on my channel if you're curious. But I think now that the full set this is out, there's a lot more support available, and I can give a bit more of a fair judgment on the leaders available. First up, we do have Chopper. So I think they released a lot of different Animal and Drunk Kingdom support in the set, and we'll definitely be talking about them really soon. Not all of it is good. Um, and red green as a color set is not the best right now because of the removal heavy meta. Um, but I think Chopper has a lot of potential. The fact that the leader effect is free means you get to do things like play 10 cost characters and still attach 3 down to things, which is pretty good. So I guess the most straightforward comparison is with Chopper and Zoro, where you get like 1k power on everything by attaching 1 Dawn leader, whereas Chopper would give you 3k power total, the 3 rested Dawn worth of power total. There's trade-offs to the ability for sure, and I think the fact that you do have to build around the Animal and Drunk Kingdom types makes it a lot weaker than Zoro himself also, but we'll definitely see, I think, some aggro kind of deck list built with Chopper in mind, considering the type of support that we got for animals. Especially the SR Chopper is going to be very, very powerful, and I think the deck will definitely build around that. The rest of the Jump Kingdom support does not seem that powerful on its own, so I think as of now it's not going to be that strong of a leader. I think Zoro is still going to be the better option, and I'm excited to try that out as well. I'm going to be building that Zoro list out as well. But for now, Chopper is probably going to be somewhere around tier 3, I would say. I don't think his leader effect is strong enough because of the deck building limitation, and it doesn't provide enough value to push him into the upper tiers as of now. Next we have Marco. I was pretty disappointed in Marco's support. Marco's effect, of course, Dawn dies 1, activate main once per turn, draw 1 card, then place 1 card on your top deck or on the bottom of your deck, and then you give one of your opponent's characters minus 2k. Because all of his support is blue, there's not any cards that really make him into a control focused deck. What the cards they've printed kind of are leaning towards is more of like a flood, like a board spam kind of deck, where you rely on the new 5 cost ace to kind of shit out a bunch of 4 cost Whitebeard pirate type characters. And most of the new Whitebeard pirate support is 4 cost blue characters that with like varying effects. Notably, I think Jozu is really good, Thatch is pretty good, Atmos is alright, but we'll talk about them individually later. And the fact that it is, it seems like Sakazuki on the front, like of the card, where you see, oh okay, you cycle cards and then after that you provide a resource reduction. It does not seem like this is going to be a control deck. It's going to be a deck where I have a lot of 5k units, and in order to remove your board, I'll be making whatever big units you have into smaller units, and I will attack into your board that way. Again, I don't think the support is strong enough that this color combination and I mean this deck in general is going to be something that is playable or very strong. I'm sure that people will be able to figure it out a little bit better than me, especially like later on in the set. As for me, I have a tournament like right 1 week after OP08 launches, so I'll be playing something more simple and more straightforward. So I'm looking at Zoro and I'm looking at Apilo as well. But for now, I think Marco is probably going to be tier 3-ish as well. The leader effect and the card pool just isn't synergistic enough. The only really good like power-based KO available for the archetype is 5 cost Marco, and then I guess 9 cost Newgate, but even then it's slow. It's not something that you can really KO with fast. It's not something you can control the board with well enough. And while the cycle is good, the Dawn times 1 is going to be something that is more costly than not most times. So I think the leader has potential. I really hope that we get to see some interesting builds with it, but as of right now, I think the pure like Whitebeard Pirates kind of focus build is not going to be that strong. Okay, so I guess now that we've talked about those 2 leaders and the current position, let's talk about all of the individual cards. So some of them are pretty simple. Like this one, the Ishi 20, it's just a 2-cost blocker, 2k power, Drown Kingdom archetype. So searchable off the Kureha, that's pretty much it. It's a standard 2-cost blocker. So it's kind of lame that there's no additional effect. I think most 2-cost blockers now, they kind of come with that 2-1 or 2-0 stat line, and then they have an additional effect kind of slapped on top of it, which is strong. It would be strong, but right now this one doesn't have anything, which is kind of lame. It would have been nice if it was like on play, give 1 rested Dawn to something, which would be pretty powerful. Okay, next is Kuro Marimo. If on play, if you have a chest on board, then KO up to one of your opponent's 3000 power or lower characters, so it's like a big Vista. This is not that bad. It's a 4/5 Drown Kingdom type as well. Yeah, if you have the chest, then it does the KO as well. If you don't have a chest, it's a 4/5, and it becomes a 4/6 with the 1 rested Dawn, like the free Dawn that you attach onto him with Chopper. Otherwise, I don't think he's that good. I think the entire chest Kuro Marimo and chest Marimo package is pretty funny, but I don't think it's strong. So we will see as like the Chopper builds kind of come out, but I don't think this is worth the slot for now. And of course, with Marimo, we also have chess. So chess is 3/3 on play. You can give -2k to one of your opponent's characters, and then after that, if you don't have a Kuro Marimo, you can play a Kuro Marimo from hand. So if you're using the chess Kuro Marimo combo on 3 Dawn, you can KO a 5k power character. This combination itself is pretty good, but again, it's costly, I would say. Like you need to burn 2 hand cards for it. It only KOs 1 5k power unit, and the chess himself is only a 3/3. So even when you attach the 1 rested, you still need to put 1 more Dawn on him in order to swing with him the next turn. But it could be reasonable to include both of them. I just think that there's probably better cards out there to include in the Chopper deck. This card will just be a good way to like flood the board, and cheating out a 4/5 for 3 is pretty good lah. Right, and then of course we have the combination chess Marimo. So if you have both a Kuro Marimo and a chess in your trash, this character gains +2, so he becomes a 5-cost 8k power character. 5/8 is a pretty good stat line, but again, it requires you to have both the cards in your trash, which is, I mean, I guess it's possible because both of the cards have 1k guard, so you can use them to counter out, and then from there you like use that to buff this character up. The sad thing is of course that the buff is only on your own turn, but 5/8 is a pretty good stat line. If you attach the rested Dawn, it's 5/9, so just a strong attacker in general. I just think that they're just not worth running together at the moment. Okay, next we have the Red SR, star of the deck for sure. Red 3-cost 20/20 Chopper. On play and when attacking during your own turn, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and then play a 4k power or less animal card rested, and then after that put the rest at the bottom of your deck. So pretty standard searcher, but also place the card instead of just adding it to your hand, which is really powerful. This is one way that you can really maintain your hand size when playing this deck. It helps you to keep your deck strong, it keeps your board wide, it keeps it powerful. I think the most powerful play with this is probably playing 2 of these down on 6 Dawn turn, which puts you in a very good position because you get 4 characters out for the cost of just 6 Dawn. And it's hard to clear all of them at the same time, especially if you're also pushing in pressure in the previous turns. So I think this card is really, really strong. It's actually like probably A, maybe S tier card. Probably one of the best cards they've printed. When it comes to like, I guess the potential of it in like an 8-pack battle is not that great, but in this deck, in Chopper and in Zoro as well, it's going to be very, very strong. Especially because it hits like every other like Chopper card. So all of the 3-4 Choppers that they've printed so far all kind of fit into this archetype really well. And you will see a lot of pressure being applied by all of the 3-cost bodies on the board. Okay, next we have Delton. Delton's play is on play, give one of your opponent's characters -1k power, which is not bad. Just a nice like push push for reducing your opponent's board a little bit and giving you a little bit of pressure in that sense. And then Dawn ×1, activate main once per turn. You can add 1 life to your hand, and this character gains rush as well. So this is a 6/7 rush character, which is, I guess, okay. It's expensive, but in Chopper you get to use that Dawn ×1 for free, so you can add 1 Dawn to him and then just attack for free, like you get the rush for free. And you can also take the life every turn, so if you're playing against like star focus strategies, you can use that to your advantage as well. In terms of like a 8-pack battle, it's a 5/6, so I mean you could probably include it as well. Um, but I don't think you really want to be taking your own life in a 8-pack battle, so that's probably the one downside to this. Next we have Nigikuma Maria. So League Bear Maria, she's just a 3/5 vanilla, which I think is pretty good for Chopper as well, but otherwise not super notable. Okay, Hiking Bear. This card is something I was really excited for. Like right before the set release, I was just saying I would like a 3k power, 2k guard animal, and they've delivered. So, and the effect is really good too. So don't activate main once per turn. Give an animal card other than this plus 1k power for the turn. So really really good because if you're playing Zoro, for example, putting one don on this is enough to put it into the 4k, so it puts it at 5k, so you can swing leader with it already. And then not only that, it also gives you an additional 1k on another animal, so it's very very efficient of a card. Especially in Chopper, I think this will also be pretty good efficiency because you can attach Rested Dawn to it, and then after that use that to give power to another character as well. So it's a very very efficient card. It's 2k counter as well. It's an animal, it's a Drum Kingdom, so it's all searchable too. And I love the Hiking Bear. I love the joke, the gag around it as well. So I was really really happy to see this card printed. I think it's going to be a very very key card in Chopper as well as in the animal focused Zoro decks. So very very good card. I think probably like A tier card, very good. Okay, next we have Monsieur. He's a 6 cost 8k film type vanilla, like nothing too special. He's film Drum Kingdom, so I don't know what movie this guy is from exactly. Maybe it's like episode of Chopper or something, I'm not sure. But anyway, Film Drum Kingdom is an interesting like set of archetypes, so it's searchable off of both Kureha as well as the new 2 cost 2 I guess. I don't know, maybe Red Purple Uta will play this. I've no clue. Like Red Uta support, but we already have a 6 cost film type vanilla in Yasop, but we'll see. We'll see if this card is playable. I think it's nice, it's just a vanilla. Okay, next is the Lapan, the big bunny guys. You also see the little bunny dude hanging off his shoulder. So down dice 2 when attacking, if your leader has the Drum Kingdom type, then KO one of your opponent's 4k power or less characters. So this is okay. In Chopper, 3/3 is a really bad stat line for a card like this. Like for example, Robin, the OP08 Robin is 3/4. And yes, it only KOs a 3k power unit, but this one is Dawn times 2, and Dawn times 2 is pretty expensive. So it's already leader locked. So it's not going to be seeing play outside of Chopper. 4k power is the baseline for the new 3 cost Chopper anyway, and Dawn dice 2 is really expensive, so this card is pretty bad in my opinion. It might see some play. It could be an interesting combination with cards like maybe like the 8 cost Rayleigh. With Rayleigh, you can play down Rayleigh minus 2k and minus 3k to a unit and KO a 3k unit, so you can KO some combination of like 5 plus 7, 6 plus 6. I think that's the only combinations that matter. Yeah, 5 plus 7 or 6 plus 6. So it's okay. I think it's not a bad like combination to have like Lapan into Rayleigh and then KOing 2 characters, but it's going to be hard to set up because the Lapan needs to stick and it's a 3 cost 3k power, so it dies to like Sneeze. It dies to Mako, 5 cost Mako as well. It dies to most black removal. It dies to even Gadatsu. It's pretty easy to clear it. So it's gonna be hard to keep this on the board. And like of course attacking into it is easy. Like even a searcher like with 1 Dawn can clear this. So I think this really should have been like a 3/4, because like as it is now, it's just a bit too weak. So probably like a C tier card to me. Next is Robson, big hippo boy. I have a friend who really likes this card. Dawn dice 2 this character against Rush. It's okay. In Chopper, you get of course the 1 Rested Dawn for free, so that's really good. So effectively in Chopper, he is a 4/6 Rush character. 4/6 is a like vanilla stat line, so that's pretty good. The problem of course is that like he's only 4k on the crackback, so when your opponent swings into it, even with like a 5k leader, it's 2k counter, so it's going to be hard to defend this guy. But I guess it will be pretty good at applying like aggro and pressure, and that's good enough for Chopper leader, I think. Of course 4k power means that it's playable off of the 3 cost Chopper, so that's the one upside to it. But again, like even if you play it down rested, like because it comes down and it's only 4K, it's going to be harder to defend, which is not ideal. I think like you don't really want to be spending so many hand cards defending like your 4K animal characters. So that's my one like gripe about this card. I wish it was like Dawn times 2, this character gains 1000 power or something, and then it also gains rush. I think that would have been pretty fair, so that it stays at 5K on your opponent's turn, so it's not that bad. But yeah, maybe something like that would have made it a bit more viable. For now, I think it will fit like just in chopper, and that's good enough, I think. Okay, next is Wapo. So Dawn times 1 when attacking, power minus 2000 for up to one of your opponent's characters, and then your own character gains plus 2000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So until the end of your opponent's next turn is pretty good. So this becomes a 6/8 effectively. Of course, only during the time where you like after you attack. So it's a 6/6 at first, and then it becomes a 7/9. No, you put one Dawn on it, it becomes a 6/8. With one Dawn, so it's 7/8. But it's Drunk Kingdom, so you get the one Dawn for free if you're playing Chopper, so that's good as well. And being a 6/8 is pretty hard to remove as well. It also does have the 1K card, which is important, I think, just to make sure that the deck doesn't run too many bricks as well. But all in all, the power reduction is pretty strong as well. I think it it fits well with the Lapan, but again, like the curve is going to be a bit strange. Like you're going to play like Chopper into like maybe the Lapan and then the Wapo on 6. So I see the idea they were going for, it just doesn't mesh that well. Like all the power reduction plus KO specific power cards, they are not as good as black removal in general, because of the fact that black removal is a bit more easily accessible and a bit more efficient. But I understand why is that way. I just think that maybe they just shouldn't lean into that kind of mechanic that much for it, because end of the day it's not very easy to get like efficient power reduction. It's not very easy to get like that kind of KO ability, and this is not even on play, it's when attacking, so it's doable I guess every turn, but it does need to stick. So I don't love it. I think it's not bad. It's just like a 6/8 with extra steps. But I mean, 6/8 with extra steps is still pretty decent card. Okay, Dr. Kureha. I really love this art. I think she's so slay. She's such a badass. So the card's effect is just a regular searcher. So you reveal a Drum Kingdom or a 2020 Chopper card, which is really cute as well. And she's a 4-card searcher, so kind of like pudding. Yeah, I think she's a pretty good searcher, just a very standard kind of searcher. I think the best part is that it adds any Chopper card, so anything from 01 to 04 which they didn't print Drunk Kingdom on as well is also an acceptable target, which is going to be really powerful when it comes to playing the Chopper deck. It's going to be powerful when playing the Zoro deck. Okay, Dr. Hero Look. So this is one of the like probably most crazy like 2K counters available, because it's activate main, you can rest this character, and then if your leader is Chopper, you can give all of your Choppers plus 2K power. And there, like as of right now, there are 20 cards with the name 2020 Chopper, I believe. Sorry, 24 cards with the name 2020 Chopper. So there's the 01 Chopper, the 02 Film Chopper, there's the 04 Alabasta Chopper, there is the EB01 Chopper, the blocker, and then there is also the new, of course, 3-cost OP08 Chopper, and lastly the 1-cost starter deck 1-cost blocker Chopper. So that is 6 different cards, up to 24 different targets in your deck that can get this plus 2000 power. And this is a lot of value, so it's as long as you have more than one Chopper on your board, this is worth the 3 Dawn investment. And of course, again, it's 2K counter, so you can just put it in your deck anyway. And this makes cards like your 4K attackers, your even the 2K Film Chopper, the 2K power one, becomes a 5K attacker with this plus your leader effect. So it's a lot of value. Like imagine you have like I guess maximum you can get like four Choppers on board plus this card, right? At maximum you can get 8K power with this card, which is really strong, especially on like lethal turns. So that's really good. I think the most important thing is because it's a 2K counter card, is playable, but otherwise I guess it would be like not that good. But since it's a 2K, you just slot it in your deck anyway. So really strong card. We have Naked Hero Look. I will never shoot you. Effect is counter, and then give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 4k power for the battle, and then after that, give up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 1k power for the turn. So pretty good, because it is effectively a 5k counter event for 2, and you can also split the targets, so you can counter 1 hit and then minus 1 for your next hit as well, and that makes it pretty good. And it's also for the turn, so it helps against characters and leaders that restand. So against the Minx, who have Shishilian, against I guess Red Green Law, who's not playable, and restand Law. We also have, just in general, any other leader with more than one character on the board at a time. This is pretty good too. And its trigger effect is also give your leader or character up to plus 1k power for, during this turn. So pretty good trigger, just like standard Radical Beam card point power trigger too. So pretty good card. I think in 8 packs battles it's going to be really, really strong as well. Okay, next we have Kokide Roseo. I love this. I love this technique, by the way. It's so cool. So 2 cost main event. Up to 3 of your characters gain plus 1k for the turn, and then after that, one of your opponent's characters gets minus 2k. It is decent. It's Dawn efficient because it gives you like Otama plus 3 Dawn worth of value. So that's basically like a 4 Dawn kind of value worth of card. It's only really value if you have like more than like 3 characters. Even if you have 2 characters, I guess it's somewhat value. But again, like, because there's not a lot of like power based KO that is good, this card is not great. So if we're looking at like the options we had I guess the Chess Marimo, and we had Kuro Marimo, and then we had the Lapan, and that's the only kind of options we have for this. So it's not that great. I feel like this could have been like a 3 cost, and then maybe it gave a bit more power, or it gave like a bit more reduction, and then it would synergize a bit better with the leader ability too, because it would be 3 costs, so you will get the 3 Rested Dawn right away, and then that way you would be like very efficient with it. But right now, there's no synergy is the main issue that I see here. Like, I think if it was like 3 costs, give like 3 characters plus your leader plus 1k, because this doesn't target your leader either, so it's really not value unless you have a board established. And then minus 2k is fine. Like, it's just that there's no good like reduction effects, that no good KO effects to pair along with this. Then the trigger is up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters gets minus 3k, so pretty good trigger. Effectively like 3k counter on a trigger card, so pretty good. But yeah, I wish this was 3 costs, then it gives the leader power as well. I think that would have been better. Okay, Baku Baku Shoku. So main and counter event, then give up to one of your opponent's characters for the turn minus 3k power, and then after that, one of your character gets plus 3k power instead. So pretty good. It doesn't affect leader, which is not great as a counter event, but I can imagine a funny combo with this card and 8 cost kit, because you could use this, I guess not the turn off, but the turn after 8 cost kit, where you would leave 3 Dawn open, and then your 8 cost kit suddenly is a 11k power wall, and that's going to be very, very difficult to break through for sure. Of course, 3 Dawn is very expensive, but like 3 Dawn for like at 3k base on an 8 cost kit is kind of crazy. For its use as a main event, I don't think it's that good. It's efficient because you spend 3 Dawn to get 3k, and you also give minus 3, but it's also inefficient because you have to use it as like, you have to waste a hand card and a deck slot for it. So it's a alright card. I think it will be funny in combination with green 8 cost kit, but otherwise I don't like the card that much. Okay, the trigger is KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 5k power or less, so like a Fire Fist, pretty okay. I think not that bad, playable, but again, the card, I feel like it's only good with combinations with 8 cost kit. I guess you can also use it to like protect your 3 cost OA Chopper, but again, like, because that guy is 3 cost, it's going to be hard to clear. It's going to be very easy to remove anyway for most decks. Okay, and then lastly we have the Drunk Kingdom stage. When I first read this card, I was going to be like, oh, Moby Dick, and then I saw it was opponent's turn. So this is, I guess this is the way that they're trying to circumvent all of your characters being 4k. So now with this card, your characters are 5k on your bonus turn, but again, I don't think it's worth the slot. I guess it's permanent 1k counter for all of your characters, which is not bad, but as a card itself, it's a brick, and then you have to get it early or else it's trash, and then it's only on your opponent's turn. So like if this was 2 costs and then you got it on both your turn and your opponent's turn, I think it would be pretty good. But as of its current print, I don't like it that much. I think it's just not worth the slot.